welcome to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Kristina Ping Kepperling of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. And to our viewers at home, we're talking about a very important topic today, one that I think we can all relate to and understand. Inflation. It's impacting us everywhere. So today's show, we're going to do a deep dive into the inflation environment. Kristina, how are you today?
Fantastic. It is so fun to just get to be together. We were just taking a look before we started the show. Gosh, almost 5 years, girl.
5 years.
This is so fun.
It has been, and wow, it has been such an honor for me to be by your side and watch your career grow in the past 5 years with one thing that you have. It's the compassion, the ability to help others, and your gift of listening. You listen to everyone that comes into your office. So your success is completely because of the person that you are, and I've been able to witness it for 5 years. I want to talk about the pin that you're wearing because this is a very special pin. Kristina, what is it? Explain to the viewers at home.
So if you folks have seen this, Cynthia and I are also on a show called The Wealth Council. We're on Fox Business. This is so huge. I never thought that we'd be on this massive national stage. I mean, what an amazing blessing. And when I think about this next phase between TV, we have radio shows, podcasts, obviously live seminars out there, but this next step, I'm so grateful to be given that voice that is so big, to be able to give good, solid information to you to help bring you that peace in retirement that you're looking for.
And what an incredible segment for, I know, the Wealth Council specifically, the women's section that we did. It was dynamic. The information just touched hearts of women really nationwide, talking about the importance of having a plan for your retirement. So I'm so glad and so blessed that we were able to do that together.
Fantastic. And you think about it, these advisors from all across the country, what an amazing pleasure to get to be part of that.
Yes.
Sometimes I just have to pinch myself. I just can't believe that it's there. And again, there's only one way to do things, the right way. So
the right way.
That's what we're doing. We're doing things the right way, taking good care of people.
Yes, putting their needs first, which you've always been so passionate about. So today's show, talking about inflation. Wow, I think we can all feel that anytime we fill up the gas tank, anytime that we go to the grocery store, literally purchasing anything, look at the cost of insurance. Everything has been inflated. Kristina, what are you seeing in the Kentucky area right now with inflation?
Well, just talking about us being together about 5 years. Think back 5 years ago, what did things look like? Nothing like today.
Nothing like today.
Inflation has taken such a huge toll. Folks, I see people that are having to make decisions between staying warm in the winter and comfortable in the summer, groceries, medications, because the income is fixed. I mean, it has really taken a huge toll. More than ever, I'm seeing that people are putting the difference between what they're able to have versus what they really need as far as income on their credit cards.
Wow.
That is a dangerous cycle that I'm seeing, more credit card debt than ever to help them get through inflation.
Yes.
They're never going to make it.
What's scary to me is that I also saw a study recently, much to your point, you're putting everything on a credit card. And I think we've all been there at one point where you're just putting everything on a charge card. But borrowing from the 401k to pay off that credit card because things are so expensive right now. Are you seeing that as well?
I am seeing that, and I'm not going to say that that's necessarily a bad decision. And let me clearly explain. I know that there are a lot of motivational speakers out there that talk about debt. But let me bring you just a good, solid fact here. Folks, if you have used your credit cards to hedge against inflation and to make up that difference, and you have money in your 401k that you can borrow. I didn't say withdraw because then you're going to have a taxable event, but to borrow, that you would actually be paying yourself back plus interest, it's significantly less than paying these high interest rates on the credit cards. So sitting down, calculating that differential and what could be best for you, that should be with a financial professional. Why is it what's best for you? Show me how, tell me why. It is our pleasure, our responsibility, our blessing to be able to give you that information, again, to bring you that peace, because a lot of people don't understand that if you can't get that taken care of and it gets out of control, there's no way you're going to get control back.
It's true. And I love that you said borrow from your 401k versus taking it as a withdrawal. I love that you made a clarification on that. We talk about, obviously, inflation impacting so many people, the cost of groceries being so expensive, people not being sure how to make ends meet. that leads me into your story, Kristina. Can we talk a little bit about your background and where this incredible passion comes from with you helping others? Because you are a very selfless individual. You're one of my best friends on the planet. I want you to share your story today.
So it is extremely personal. As you very well know, I don't open up a whole lot about this, but I will make the phrase that I've heard over and over, and I have lived this, that empty pockets and a hungry belly are the best life lessons. And I did go through a period of time in my childhood that I was hungry a lot. And there were times when I was raising my boys that my pockets were so empty I couldn't even afford food. I had to put things back, much less extras. It just didn't exist in my household. I don't think the same as other advisors, because when you've lived through something like that, you know what I'm talking about. If you have had that feeling, you never make decisions the same again.
It's true.
So when I'm thinking about someone else and about the rest of their life, my thoughts and feelings are just completely hyper-vigilant, because I'm listening for those concerns and those fears of having those empty pockets and a hungry belly.
What it really comes down to, Kristina, is planning for retirement.
Yes.
And you're a passionate planner. Like, you plan your daily schedule, because I know you so well. You're very regimented. And talk to the viewers at home the importance of planning properly for the retirement years specifically.
Yes, those retirement years, when you think about it, folks, there are more milestones in retirement than there are in childhood and being raised even through your working years. I will go over all of those in the next segment, because that's another important piece. But when you think about all of those changes and what is it that could be impacted, we have so many different challenges between inflation, taxes, healthcare, fees, the volatility of the market. If you don't have all of these included inside of your plan, you don't have a plan. And I know inflation is affecting every household. Our household is around 40%. I mean, it's huge. In the last 5 years, we have paid over 40% more for just our average everyday needs. I'm not being dramatic. Our water bill tripled for no reason.
I know.
You know, our taxes went up because our home values went up. Our home and auto insurance went up because of all of the floods and all of the just terrible tornadoes and the windstorms that we had. I mean, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio area has just been devastated.
Yes.
And not to mention our food supply. So some of those local farmers lost their crops, and then it's increasing that farm to table. People lost their cattle crop because the hail was so huge, it pelted the cattle and killed them. I mean, this was just a massive disaster in Kentucky. And to recover from that, well, what if you're retired and what if you're on this fixed income? Sometimes there is no recovery.
Right. You have to plan for the unthinkable.
Yes.
Well, Kristina, we're going to take a very short commercial break, but you have a message to the viewers today. Let's talk about what that is.
Yes, folks, I know out there you're worried about your inflation in your own household. I know that you are so concerned about the impact on your future. What does that truly look like? Are you on track to retire how and when you want to? I would love to do whatever I can to give you my time to help answer those questions. At this moment, we're going to offer you all to just call the number on the screen there or click that little QR code. We're going to offer you a complimentary consultation. For some of you, this will be a second opinion. For some of you, you're not retired yet. You're just looking into it. That's okay. I'd love to offer my time. What can I do to bless you? Thank you for spending time with us, so I'd love to offer my time back and bless you with that information, see what we can do to make sure that you are on track.
Kristina, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, the number to call is on your screen, 877-893-5099. If you're in the viewing audience today and you're asking yourself, do I have a plan for my retirement? Do I know that I'm going to be okay if the unthinkable happens? If the answer is no, this is the perfect opportunity for you to call in. That number is 877-893-5099. If you don't have a pen or you're just running out the door, you can grab your smartphone. Click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to the landing page for Powerful Legacy, and you can schedule your time accordingly. Remember, this is the perfect time for you to plan for your retirement. We have the complimentary consultation. We'll be right back with Kristina momentarily.
Hi,
Hi folks, Kristina and Rob Kepperling here with Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. Let's take a moment and make sure that you're on track for retirement.
So Kristina, how much does it actually take for someone to retire?
Oh my gosh, how much money does it take to live these days?
It's a lot of expense.
Exactly. So when you think about it, we've got all these rules. The rule of $1 million, so if you have $1 million, you can retire. That's a lot. I know some people that only have a few $100,000, and that's okay. That's a lot if you've saved it. You know how much that is. And then we have the rule of 25. You want to try and save up about 25 years of your income. Maybe we've got that rule that, oh, wait a minute. Let's not talk about rules. Let's throw that rule book out. You know that it's different for every single person.
Well, I think it's going to depend on how many grandchildren we have too.
I know we're going to spend all our money on the grandkids, so it does. It depends on how many grandkids you have. That's when you can retire. How much money are you going to spend on the grands? I don't know. There's a certain formula that I think a lot of people have in your head. I think there's a certain age that you have on your mind. Well, what is that for you? Let's help calculate that and make sure that you're going to be ready for your retirement how and when you want to.
Welcome back to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Kristina Ping Kepperling of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. And we're talking all about inflation and how that can impact your overall retirement plan if you're not prepared. Kristina, obviously we're talking about inflation today, but I want to talk to you also about your workshops, because I know that you're so busy and yet you take the time to do the workshops for the community, and they're always full to capacity. Every time I see you, it's just a flood of people. So talk about where people can find you.
That's another way that we're completely different. Our workshops are educational only. We do not have to know how much money you have or what you're looking for you to come in and just get that education that you're looking for. And people walk away with so much value. That's probably my favorite thing, is that as people are coming in a little bit stressed, just wondering, am I going to learn something that I need? Some people walk away with more questions, and then some walk away with answers to their questions. So it's just fantastic. And, again, no obligations, no nothing. I think that's the best way to begin any type of a relationship, whether it's going to be lifelong or not.
Absolutely.
Is to just make sure that you're doing what you can to help somebody.
Are they about an hour long, 2 hours long?
It just depends on how much the involvement is. If we all get interacting and maybe the crowd's a little smaller, let's say less than 50 people or so, I love hearing about other people's lives, and I've had to literally say, we have to save the personal stories for after the workshop, and I'll happily listen, because it is for education only, so we want to make sure and keep our eye on that education.
Makes sense, makes sense. Yes. Well, let's get back to the subject of inflation. I kind of went in another direction there for just a second. So what can people do to help build a hedge against inflation? How does that fit into a retirement plan? What are some of the things that you can do to plan for inflation?
Inside of Powerful Legacy's platform, we use what's called the Retirement Roadmap, and to make sure that you're on track for retirement. There are different numbers that you can select, okay? We have AI that's going to give us information that we're seeking. Folks, there's no way the AI is going to beat a human being that knows what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And so calculating inflation, when I look back at what's in my own household, why would I give it just a 2 or 3% average over the last 50 years?
Right.
That is not going to win right this moment.
No.
So for the last handful of years, I've actually been overestimating the inflation, somewhere around that 5%. So I'd rather have a little bit of an overestimation and have too much money just in case, rather than an underestimate and not have enough.
Exactly. I totally agree. Let's talk a little bit about the people that are in the viewing audience today that perhaps have fixed incomes. How does inflation impact them? What are they looking at right now?
So probably the most horrifically. That's exactly what that means. I mean, a fixed income and then inflation, it's not keeping up. And again, having to change that lifestyle. I think about, what is that like when you have worked your whole life and then you can't even afford to eat the things that you want to? Something so simple.
I know.
We love to talk about food. We're talking about what we're eating all the time.
Yes, and we take pictures of it too.
We do. We take pictures of our food. It's so awesome. And our lifestyle, the lifestyle that we chose, that
yes.
Mostly vegetarian lifestyle,
yes.
and just how much healthier we feel and what's been best for our bodies. Well, when you're trying to make healthy decisions, because your health is your wealth, and you can't afford it because it costs more money to eat healthy than it does to eat garbage.
Isn't that crazy? When you think about it, it costs more to buy a bag of organic apples than someone going through the McDonald's drive-thru. Something's wrong with our country. That should not be that way. We should have nutritious food that's available at our fingertips and inexpensively.
Yes, and I think about the kids. I mean, I look at these little ones. I'm not talking about my grandson. His tiny little chunkies are just too cute. You know, those little chunky cheeks and chunky little thighs, chunky little hands that look like rubber bands. Oh, so precious. I'm talking about just the stagnant lifestyle and then not having good nutritious food, making terrible decisions, a lot of chemicals, processed foods, whatnot. That sets you up for a really unhealthy adulthood. And then the adults that have made those decisions, you know, eating out all of their lunch, that not only erodes at your finances, but it erodes at your health as well.
It definitely does. It really, truly does. So the people that are in the viewing audience today and they're asking themselves, you know what, should I pick up that phone? Should I call in? Should I talk with Kristina? Spend a little bit of time talking about what it feels like when someone comes into Powerful Legacy for the first time. I know they're going to meet Rob as well, who couldn't be here today.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about the office.
Well, you will see a little bonus person, a person that's a dog. His name is Zeus. He will greet you at the door. He's the sweetest thing. And for those of you who have been viewing the show for 5 years, because some people have, I'll give them that. Again, thank you for being loyal to the viewing. But what is it today that's on your mind? What is it that would make you want to call and come in and see us? Every single person is different. Some people just like to watch the show and you have everything managed on your own, and that's great. But if you're worried about some of these risks that we've discussed, taxes, volatility of the market, inflation, fees inside of your account, and healthcare, if you don't have all those things in order and all part of your plan, you need to pick up the phone and just give us a call. Come in and see us. It's that easy. If you don't have time right now to set an appointment that's on the screen, you can absolutely jump onto the website, yourpowerfullegacy.com. There's an opportunity to take a look at what your future taxation could be with the retirement tax bill calculator. Scroll down. You can put yourself on our calendar right there on the website. So several ways to come in and see us. I know you're going to love it. Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
Yes.
First off, we have an awesome coffee bar.
Yum, our favorite thing.
Yes, and our new executive suites that are upstairs, and that coffee bar is golden. I mean, literally, the Keurig is golden. It's so good. That's where I keep all the really good syrups, you know, with the seasons.
Yes, yes, I love that. And also, more importantly, which I'm not sure because coffee is awfully important, but it's a non-judgment zone. We've
Yes.
heard people say that they feel so comfortable when they first come into the office because they feel that they can tell you and the team anything. And so many people might be apprehensive to call in because maybe they feel that they haven't saved enough or they've made mistakes with their financial past, but you never pass judgment, and I'm sure that you've heard just about everything in your career.
Yes, everything that you just mentioned, Cynthia, but what's worse is I'm hearing people come in and say, I did meet with an advisor, and they spoke in a foreign language to me, or they talked down to me.
Yes, you hear that a lot.
That breaks my heart, and especially, I will just point out there, over 80% of the clientele at Powerful Legacy are women. We think different. We are
Yes.
different. It is a safe zone for ladies because when you're widowed, that's when you should have someone on your side to protect you the most.
100%.
But what if you didn't save enough, because most women haven't? Not saying that we kick the gentlemen out. We'd love to see you too. Come in and see us. We have several amazing clients that are our gentlemen too, but it's just a completely different look when you come into Powerful Legacy. We're not like anybody else. I'm asked sometimes, you know, who's your competition? Nobody.
Exactly.
We don't do the same thing as anybody else.
Yeah, exactly. And I love how women have come in before with their husbands and they've shared with you that when they've met with a different advisor, like they felt that advisor was speaking specifically just to the husband.
Yeah.
And they left feeling like they weren't even seen or heard, but coming into your office, they feel that they have a presence and they feel welcomed and they feel wanted. So I think that's very important to point out.
It is, and more, us ladies are making the financial decisions anyway. I mean, my husband's not here to defend himself, but I definitely make all the financial decisions in our household, and I'm very proud of that because I do an excellent job, and a lot of you ladies out there are doing an excellent job as well. So having that at the front of your mind and researching what is it that you need to really start setting up your personal retirement. Because ladies, you're probably going to outlive your husband. So this is not just their retirement plan, it's yours too.
Very, very true. Kristina, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, there's a number to call on your screen, and you can see there's clearly a difference when you decide to work with Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. That number is 877-893-5099. What you're being offered today, honestly, is the gift of time. You're going to be listened to. You're going to be heard. Your hopes, your goals, your dreams, your plans for retirement. The complimentary consultation is all about you. Don't miss the opportunity to call in and take advantage of it. 877-893-5099, or go ahead, click that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to the landing page for Powerful Legacy. We're going to take a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We're talking about inflation and the overall retirement planning process. Stay tuned.
The work never seems to end until the day it finally does. After nearly a lifetime on the job, you should be rewarded for all the time you spent working. Whether that's crossing off items on your bucket list, learning a new passion, or rekindling the love of an old one. After all, life isn't over when you stop working. It's the start of an all-new chapter. The one where you're the writer and you get to choose how your story will go. A way to achieve that is by having a clear financial plan to sustain your golden years. The biggest fear most retirees have is if they'll have enough money to maintain the lifestyle they've always enjoyed. Having a plan to help protect you against the curveballs life often throws will help to maintain your lifestyle. Call today to get your free written financial plan so you may live every day to the fullest and enjoy the retirement of your dreams.
Welcome back to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Kristina Ping Kepperling of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. We're talking all about inflation and the overall retirement plan on today's show. Kristina, I know that inflation is a segment of the pie if you look at a plan in a pie shape. What are the other pieces and parts that you're looking at when you design a well-crafted retirement plan for someone?
So think about the retirement plan. I did hint a little earlier in the first segment that I would talk about those milestones in retirement. Folks, there are so many. I'm going to just jump down this list real quick. Hopefully I don't miss one because there are so many. Starting at age 50, so go all the way back to age 50, you do have some catch-up contribution available inside of your IRA account, so that is huge. And then age 55, you can start tapping into some of that retirement without the 10% penalty, just depending on the way that it's dispersed. We retire a lot of folks that are in hazardous duty, 55. 59 and a half is when that 10% penalty on your qualified accounts, your pre-tax accounts, comes off of there. 60 is early collection of Social Security for those that are widowed and widowers. And then 62 is early Social Security collection. 65 is when we start Medicare. 66 to 67 is your full retirement age for Social Security. 70 is maximization. We've got 73 now for required minimum distributions, and then 75 in 2033 for required minimum distributions.
Wow.
That's just getting started. I haven't even come close to the end, which is death, and then legacy planning. Holy cow, look at all those milestones inside of that. So what does that look like? Planning is not just a one and done. Whether you're in some of those milestones right now or you've already passed some of those up, what if you did make a mistake? Well, we want to make sure that your plan's going to be solid for the rest of your life. I love that phrase, you can't cry over spilled milk. Have you heard that one?
I have.
Yes, I love that. And I would cry over spilled milk. And I'll give an excellent example here. My precious daughter-in-law is nursing my little grandson, and she spilled some milk. You would have thought someone shot her. I mean, she just cried and cried because it's just liquid gold. And I'm like, sweetheart, you can't cry over that. We just need to move forward, work harder, let's keep on going. And I think about that, that applies to every area of life.
That's true.
Watching that young lady struggle with that little spilled milk versus what does that look like if you've made some bad decisions in retirement, but you need to get back on track? It all works.
It all works. It all works. Speaking of working, let's talk about your book, The Retirement Train, because I absolutely love it. If the viewers at home are seeing the book for the first time, talk about what's inside the different chapters.
Yes, I love this book, folks. It is like nothing else that's out there, and the book is not for sale. You can come by and get a copy. I'd love to give it to you. What can we do to give you this information? For those of you that call into the television and come see us, of course, you're going to get one of these with your complimentary consultation. Each chapter is a different decade. So if you're looking for just the retirement area, skip to chapters 5 and 6, but I know you're going to love the whole book. It's very easy to read, it's easy to understand, and you'll see how it applies to you specifically. It's almost as if we can take a look into your very specific situation in some of this. And a lot of people have told me that, you know, how did you know that's what I'm going through? Because you're not alone. That's what I want you to see. Speaking of not being alone, working on the next book.
Yay!
So I have it all now what? It is all based on financial psychology. There's not another book like this. And why people make the decisions the way they do. We go all the way back to the Depression era and why people from that era made decisions the way that they did based on their thoughts and their feelings. That financial psychology ties into all of that. Versus now where people are just so comfortable throwing everything on a credit card and paying it later. Why is that financial psychology bringing so much comfort to something like that when 25 years ago that would have never existed, right?
That's interesting.
So it's a very neat book. Probably going to be sometime in 2025, 2026-ish before it's completed, but that will also be no charge.
I love that. Is that different from behavioral finance, or do they marry one another?
So they do marry one another, yes, but behavioral finance is very specifically why people continually behave, not just the reaction or the initial decision, because I like to say that someone who was born poor, poor is not financial. Poor is a state of mind. Without means is what we really need to be talking about. So without means versus with means, what type of decisions do you make? Some people can't have a single dollar in their bank account. They have to spend it.
True. We all know someone like that.
Oh, yes, I sure do. My youngest son, Preston.
Well, Kristina, we're coming to the end of probably the fastest 30 minutes of my life ever, because I could talk to you all day, but you have a very special message to the viewers at home before we close.
Yes, folks, this message is we do clearly understand you're thinking about all these things that we just talked about today. Whether you have just joined us the last few minutes or you've watched the entire show, first off, we thank you for your time. It's great to be here with you today. And we hope that you'll watch us again soon because we know it will be valuable for you. If you need to take that next step, we would love to offer that to you. A complimentary consultation, that's what we're offering. What can we do to get that information to you to make sure that you're on track for your retirement? If you take a look at the bottom of the screen there, you can click that QR code or call that number on the screen. We'll get you set up for your appointment.
Kristina, thank you so much. To the viewers at home, thank you for spending time with us today on Your Powerful Legacy TV with Kristina Ping Kepperling. Don't forget to call in for your beautiful complimentary consultation, 877-893-5099. If you have your smartphone handy, you can grab that, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. Be safe, be happy, and be blessed. We'll see you back 1 week from today on Your Powerful Legacy TV with Kristina Ping Kepperling. Take care.